Hey, welcome back to the Charlie Bahama Show, and we are here over on Hopetown, or Elbow Cay, and we are here with Debbie with the Elbow Reef Lighthouse Society, and we are in the world-famous Hopetown Lighthouse. Is it the Hopetown Lighthouse?
It's the Elbow Reef Lighthouse for the reef off of Elbow Cay, and the lighthouse was built in 1863 to warn all the sailors to stay away from the Elbow Reef.
Ah, yeah, well that's what all the lighthouses were for, so they know where to go and then to make sure.
Well, that's what's the interesting point.
Oh.
Not all lighthouses are to keep boats away. For example, the lighthouse at the mouth of Nassau Harbor is a lighthouse that was put there to tell you here's where to come in.
No, we did a show from there.
Awesome.
Yeah, we did a show from there. And I've actually filmed in this lighthouse for many years, over the last 20 years. And it's always a landmark here. But now I don't know much about the lighthouses, but that's an interesting bit of information I did not know.
Right.
So tell me a little bit about what the society is trying to do.
Right, so the Elbow Reef Lighthouse Society was formed back in 1995 when governments around the world were automating their lighthouses because, oh, gee, we can save all this money on our budgets, of course, because of the, as I mentioned, the GPS global system. And when they came to Hopetown to automate the Elbow Reef Light, the community said, hey, wait a minute, please don't automate our light. And the government was like, okay, fine, no problem, but you're gonna have to go find the parts because nobody's making parts for the lighthouses because lighthouses are being automated. So we said, okay, and a group formed first the Bahamas Lighthouse Preservation Society in an attempt to save all 11 imperial lights. That was a very ambitious undertaking. So in 2014, we narrowed it down to the Elbow Reef Lighthouse. So the Elbow Reef Lighthouse Society works in tandem with the Bahamas government to restore and maintain this light station. And now, because of that, this is the last lighthouse out of 18,000 lighthouses in the whole world that is kerosene burning and hand wound nightly by keepers. The only lighthouse, the last lighthouse in the world.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I mean, does, like, I don't know if it's a World Guinness thing or does the Lighthouse Society of the world, do they know that? I mean, this should be something that everybody in the world should be saying, hey, the last lighthouse with kerosene and everything is here in the Bahamas. Is that something that's widely known?
I don't know how widely known it is, but that's certainly our mission to keep it going.
Yeah.
And I mean, there are other lighthouses that have keepers.
Right.
But what they don't have, what makes our light unique is what I mentioned, the kerosene burning mechanism. So we have a living flame, and it's like a big candle. The flame's about this big.
Yeah, it's like the Olympic flame, it never goes out.
Right. So
does ours ever go out?
Well, sometimes
the flame goes out.
Well, sometimes we can't get the flame lit for a variety of reasons, or the keepers. They're the ones who do the work. And we have our principal keeper, Jeffrey Forbes, assistant keeper, Jackson Blatch. And when that happens, we have to put an electric bulb in. But you can always tell the difference. The electric bulb is like a white light. It doesn't, the beams of light don't go out as far. It looks dead.
Right.
When the candle and the living flame is going, it's a yellow candle light. It's alive, and you know, it's part of our community. It's a living, working light station. The last one, it is a complete light station with 9 outbuildings. Wow. So I get why the governments wanted to automate, because it's very expensive to keep it going. But the Bahamas government, the Port Department have been fantastic partners. They take care of the keepers, they buy the kerosene, they purchase the water, and we have the big ticket item of keeping the light station restored and maintained.
Wow.
So we got hammered in Hurricane Dorian, and thankfully the society, because of our donors and partners, we've raised about $500,000 and we're halfway there. And now we've received a grant from the United States Embassy in Nassau
Ooh.
for basically almost all of the rest, not entirely. We still need help. Donations definitely appreciated, but we're engaged now with 4 projects. First, to strip, repair, paint the tower, and then we're going to repair the slate floors. Then we're going to work on the outside lantern, which has got a lot of rust. And the final project is the actual mechanism operating system itself.
Wow, that's ambitious. Well, I hope, a lot of people out there are able to help, because this will be amazing. Like I said, this is a landmark, and now I know how important, because it's one of the last in the world, and it's so beautiful. I mean, you can see it, from all around. It's almost like our Statue of Liberty, and it's very important. Now, I've been...
Well, just talking on the fact that this is a national icon, this lighthouse is on our $10 bill and in your passport. So you're absolutely right about how recognized the light is.
Yeah. Now, I've been here this is our second show here in Abaco, and I've been eating and drinking a lot. So I'll go to the top and wash the windows up there. That way I can lose some weight. But I won't run, because remember you were saying people used to use this as a running.
Stairmaster.
It's not a Stairmaster.
No.
You cannot run up these steps. You have to keep it in good shape. So be respectful too. When you come to this lighthouse, be respectful. All right. So I'm going to walk up. Maybe I can lose. How many steps? I can see how much poundage I'll lose.
Oh, there's 101 steps.
Okay, so that's 101. Okay, I'll lose 101 pounds. It's a pound a step. But Debbie, thank you so much, and keep up the good and important work that you guys are doing here.
Well, thank you, Charlie, for stopping and sharing all of our work with the nation, and we're just proud to do it.
All right. More Charlie Bahama right after this.
If you want more Charlie Bahama, go to any of our social media pages or subscribe to the Charlie Bahama YouTube page.